I'm Ian Higgins.
I'm Nina Otter.
We're on the Insulate crew, and this is our story.
The concept of Insulate was inspired in January 2008, following closely on the heels of PowerShift 07. Part of the Focus the Nation climate teach-in, the event served as a catalyst for many students to get motivated and take action in their community. As part of the teach-in, a small group of student leaders held a series of talks and installed exhibits throughout Warren Wilson in order to educate other students about climate change. They also convened a campus-wide meeting where students led a discussion on methods for preventing climate change. The idea was brought up to insulate low-income homes in the community, the result of which is the program you see today.
Seeing the student interest and need for Insulate, the Environmental Leadership Center proposed the envisioned program to Warren Wilson College as a means of bridging the triad of the college: academics, work, and service. Before creating the program, we surveyed the local community to determine existing efforts that we could support. We identified several organizations and determined that we could assist community action opportunities with their existing weatherization assistance program. This was in part due to their ability to ensure the volunteers, and more importantly, they were the local weatherization assistance program, funded in part by federal and state agencies. Thus, credibility with data and process was already established. Meeting with community action opportunities, we learned that funding cuts had minimized the amount of work CAO could conduct. Volunteering with them was mutually beneficial. Among other things, free labor allowed them to spread their funding over a greater number of homes. With the Obama administration including $6.2 billion to weatherize low-income homes across the nation, the challenge now becomes getting the workforce to meet the high demand. That's where student volunteers come in.
In September of 2008, 24 Warren Wilson College students, along with members of the Insulate crew and Service Learning crew, joined volunteers of Asheville Home Builders Association and the staff of Community Action Opportunities. We weatherized 3 homes of seniors who were 150% below the national poverty level and spent an average of 40% of their income on energy.
We asked student volunteer Mark Begley what he thought after participating in an Insulate workday. Here's his testimony.
I was honestly a little afraid that it was going to feel like this awkward, vaguely condescending, rich white college kids from the private school down the road who you've never met before coming and telling poor local people how they should be living. And it just wasn't like that at all, which was really reassuring. It was kind of weird at first to walk into someone's home, introduce yourself, and then go crawling around their attic and their basement, filling in holes. But then I hung out with the ladies whose house we were working on, and they showed me pictures of their grandkids and their kids, and we talked about living in Asheville, and it was just a really great interaction, and they were really nice, and they were glad to have us there, and we were glad to be there, and that's all it was. And I think that was actually the best part.
Insulate has emerged as a national leader. Its students and staff are being contacted by representatives of academia, local governments, and community organizers for information on how to start a program of their own. This national interest has given Warren Wilson College the opportunity to become the nation's repository for home energy data and a guiding force for other community organizations with similar missions.
Data gathering is a vital element to any weatherization effort. In fact, Warren Wilson College is currently working with the National Climatic Data Center to create an online repository for anyone across the nation who is conducting weatherization work. We must be collecting economic, fuel data, reductions in carbon emissions, and the only way that we can understand if we're accomplishing our national goal of 80% reduction by 2030 is in fact to be monitoring collectively. So insulateinc.com is in fact going to become, or is now, the national repository for that data set.
Collectively, the work on each home is one step closer to reducing fuel consumption, the economic burden on homeowners and communities, and reducing the amount of carbon emissions in our atmosphere. Together, we must collect and gather this data.
InsulateNC.com provides us with a tool to share ideas, transfer our experiences, know how close we are to reducing carbon emissions, and to be part of something bigger than ourselves.
Join us in reducing carbon emissions, one home at a time. Insulate!